Hello everybody. In this video tutorial, I will show you how do you create your RubyMine project, first RubyMine project for Cucumber based automation tests. And second thing, I will show you different settings that you can play with within the RubyMine. Some of the settings are most helpful so that you can configure certain things or at least get familiar with those settings. Um, so first of all, you need to have the RubyMine running, and you can click on this particular JetBrains RubyMine icon on your desktop to get the RubyMine started. And depending on your computer speed and the processor speed, it might take few minutes, but at the end you will see a dialog box, something similar to that. On the left side, you have certain projects that you created in the past. And let's say you want to create a brand new project, you can always click on create new project, and that's what I'll show you here. And it will pop up another dialog box similar to this, and I have empty project selected, and the location of the project you can specify. um, and in order to specify that, make sure you have the directory exist on your laptop. So here, let me go and do that, and let's see where I want to put my project. And if I have project structure created, I have automation test folder. That's where I want to store. So I will have that. Plus, let's say I want to have another folder called Hello World for my project. So Ruby will create, when the IDE opens, it will go and create this Hello World folder under C automation test. And under the Hello World, you can store any project content, any Ruby files, related Ruby files, or Cucumber files, feature files, and those things. And I have Ruby SDK selected. If you don't see that here, Ruby SDK, make sure you go ahead and select, click on Add Ruby SDK, and it will try to find the Ruby installation on your laptop, and it will select the Ruby exe, and you can click OK afterwards, and that is what um, you need to do. So I'll make sure you have Ruby SDK selected in that folder. Anyway, so I'll go and click on create button to actually create the project and the folder structure under automation task. So as soon as I click on create, Ruby will open, RubyMine will open, and it will create a project structure, something similar to this on the left side. Libraries are libraries that are referenced under the Ruby framework. So just ignore that for now. But this is the project structure. All the artifacts will be stored under Hello World folder under C automation test. So in order to do the Cucumber test, as we discussed in the first session, we will need a features folder, and then we'll be creating our feature file in the features folder. So by default, features folder is not created, so you need to go and create it. So in order for to do that, you right click on it, Hello World folder, and then the new, and you will create a new directory called features, and it will pop up this dialog box, and you type it in features. Um, One important thing is that if there are any spelling mistakes and if you create any files, then Cucumber will not recognize it. So make sure you type in exactly features, no capital cases there. It needs to be exactly same. So I'll go and click OK, and hopefully I should be able to see the features folder here when I expand. Now you need to get familiar with the how do you expand collapse folders. So there is a right arrow, so you can expand that and collapse like that. Okay, so now I can see when I expand the Hello World, my project folder, I see the features folder. Within that, now I need to create a file called test.feature or hello world.feature. So I'll select the folder and right click on it, And now I'll go to the, this time I will go and create a file. And here I'm giving the file extension as dot feature. Cucumber will not recognize any acceptance test if you have any different names. It has to be lowercase, and it has to be exactly dot feature. And once you have that, click OK, and your hello world dot feature file is open at this point. And you should be able to see, if you expand features folder, you should be able to see this particular file. So if you close out, and you can open it by double clicking the hello world feature file. So currently I don't have anything in the feature file, so it will be empty. But let's go ahead and create our first Cucumber test. So I'll go ahead and type in our Cucumber test call. In order to do that, I need to have a feature keyword first, and then I can describe. Let's say we are creating the additions feature, so I can provide a description called additions feature. I can have description like this as well, it does not matter. Cucumber will recognize it. Anything after feature in the column, it will recognize it. In order to create our first scenario, you need to specify scenario keyword. And here you can specify scenario as add two numbers. Okay. Now as far as the step goes, you need to have the basically steps. And let's go ahead and do the simple scenario here. Given I have two numbers, or let's say given I input when I input numbers as 1 plus 1, then I shall see answer as 2. Okay. So at this point, I have my given when then conditions, I have my scenario specified and the feature specified. Now realize that both scenario and feature include semicolon after the keyword, but the given when and then does not have semicolon. So go ahead and save your project at this point, going to file and save all, just to make sure that everything is saved on the directory. Now when you want to run now you are ready to run that, and when you want to run this particular feature, you can right click on the feature and click on run hello world feature. So Cucumber file is running at this point, and at this point you can see, you may see some warning. Ignore the warning for now, but you will see you can implement the step definitions for undefined steps with the snippets. So we have our steps, but we don't have corresponding step definitions. So those are the error messages here that you see. Given I have numbers, pending, pending and other things, we will basically what it is a Cucumber is looking for matching step definition for your step, and we have not created anything yet. So it's saying you can implement, it's providing you suggestion that you can implement this way the step definitions so that you can complete your task. Um, and at the end it says one scenario, one undefined, three steps, three undefined, and it took a certain amount of time, 0.38 second, to run your Cucumber task. Now as we know, as we learn in the class, that you have the steps and you need to have the corresponding step definitions, which you have not built it yet. But as long as you are getting the one scenario without any definitions, you have everything installed correctly. You can verify that, you can say that you have everything up and running on your laptop. So at this point, I'll stop this particular tutorial. Um, Actually, let me go and show you one more thing here. You might run into certain errors that you don't have framework installed or no other frameworks found. So let me go and say a couple of things here. Important part. So there is under file, you have the settings, and you have different items here in the settings. Like appearance and behavior, you have the editor settings where you can specify the fonts um, that are displayed. So let me go and change to 14 here. And then you also have the actual framework, which you can find it under languages and frameworks. Under language and framework, you can go to the Ruby SDK and gems. And here, any Ruby version that you have installed will be displayed over there. Now, if your project, if nothing is selected here, then you will not be able to run your Ruby project, Cucumber project, and you might run into issues. So make sure and you have at least one framework selected there. And here I have two frameworks selected here, and I can go and remove one of them, and I'll go and leave only one framework. And in order to apply that, you click apply. And that's what it does is your Cucumber, as soon as you run it, it will look for the framework, and then it will try to dig up any gems libraries and then execute your Cucumber test based on the framework that you selected. Uh, so that's all is happening here. You have other features here, but we'll probably talk as later in the little bit in the future sessions. Let me see if anything else. But I think so far that is the only thing I wanted to show you here today. So I'll go ahead and click OK for now, and then um, hopefully you guys should be able to follow through and create your first Cucumber test, and make sure um, you are able to see that you are getting this type of error, not error message, but messages from the RubyMine ID. All right, thank you very much.